Hello and welcome to Sofia. Today we are going to fly to Budapest and we are going to fly there on Vatsim. This is going to be quite an experiment. To be honest, I'm not really sure if it's wise thing to record on Vatsim because I have new gear. I swapped my uh, joystick and HOTAS to a yoke and a quadrant. So this will be the first time I'm flying with those. There might be some hiccups coming, but I wanted to make it a full, enjoyable flight, so we are flying on Vatsim with real people, real ATC. There should be controllers on both ends of the flight. So without further ado and without further listening to the airplane I honestly cannot even see. Let's jump into the cockpit and start our preparation as usual with the uh, cockpit inspection, and as usual we're going to start with the standby battery test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Let's turn it on. Let's also move ERT to the armed position. Let's crank up some floodlight. Let's make sure the landing gear lever is down. Let's see if it's working properly, so it's down. And with that, let's turn on the batteries. Seems like we do not have external power available. So we're going to wait just a little bit until some instruments boot up. In the meantime, our cast messages seems to be okay. And let's set some lights. So okay, anti-collision is on. That's what I can switch from the quadrant and pause. Okay, which one is recognized as the pause? I shouldn't have done that probably. Okay, I will figure this one out later.
TOS system test. Okay.
Okay, now we've waited enough. Let's turn on the APU so we will not run out of battery power. Let's go with passenger safety as well. Okay, while the APU runs on, let's enter our flight plan, for which I will need my notes. So we are currently in Sofia, which is Lima Bravo Sierra Foxtrot. Flying to Budapest, which is good old Lima Hotel Bravo Papa. We expect to depart from runway 09 by the Ogota Free Sierra departure. And expect to arrive to runway 31 right by the Casal 2 hotel arrival. And also 31 right from Nikra with a minimum of 618. Of course, that might change. And as for the route itself at Ogota, we are going to enter Airway November 133 to Lomos. Then direct off dot. We can even expand it. That's the only airway we are going to use. So from Lomos to Ogdot, Ovdot, that could be a big diversion if we went for Ogdot, if there is one even. So Ovdot, then Deget, and then Keza, which is already in the arrival. So let's check what we have made. So that's to Lomos, then Ovdot, Deget, Keza, and then the arrival. Okay, that looks fine to me. So we now have the flight plan in. Moving on. APU is on, external power was not used. Trims. Let's move trims into the green band. I usually like to have 3.5 initially. Also, let's do performance. So we are flying with our usual numbers. Don't want to mess those up. According to SimBrief, we need 4,639 pounds of fuel, of which we are going to burn 2,124. And since it always shows a little less than what's entered here, so it's 4,646, and it still shows 4,560. Don't know why. But back to the performance. So takeoff will be from 09. Let's use METAR wind and REMER temperature. Let's try and all. So 102.10. Is it 8? 102, 108, 124, and we need 3,100 of the almost 12,000. Okay, let's listen to 80s and clearance, and let's also make sure to have the guard frequency on COM2. And 80s, actually let's go to tower first, because we do not have a ground online. Okay, seems like we do not even have the tower online. We only have Sofia radar on 123.7. And 80s is on 12668.
0 degrees. QNH 1032 hectopascals. Advise you have received information Foxtrot. This is Sofia information Foxtrot. 8 is report at 1900 UTC. ILS Zulu approach, runway in use 09er, transition level 120. Taxiway Romeo closed. Taxiway Bravo closed between BTHREE and BFOUR. Wind runway 09er touchdown zone 140 degrees 6 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. No clouds detected. Temperature 4 degrees. Dew point 0 degrees. QNH 1032 hectopascals. Advise you have received information Foxtrot. This is Sofia information Foxtrot. 8
09 continued send 6100, turn left heading 120, cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 27, report, correction runway 09, report.
Okay, now both instruments indicating the same.
With 01709 heading 120, descending to 6, flight level 06100.
Sofia approach, hello, Citation Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November, information Foxtrot on board, request IFR to Budapest.
Hotel Alpha, correction, Hotel Mike November, Sofia approach, good day, clear to destination Budapest, out of runway 09, via the Ugota 30 departure, initially planned flight level 240, squawk 4751.
Clear to Budapest, runway 09er, initial altitude flight level 240 and squawking 4751, Hotel Mike November.
Hotel Mike November, read back correct.
Okay, so squawking 4751. And that's some initial altitude to have flight level 240. Okay, runway heading is 89. Okay, so flight level change and heading mode, let's see, on and off. Let's go back to the checklist. So we have clearance trims are set and they are already wandering away, so 3.5. Weight and fuel was calculated, takeoff data was calculated, V-speeds were calculated, pressurization 448 versus 416, that's 30 feet difference, that's not really to my liking, but I cannot do much about it right now. Fuel quantity was checked, autopilot was checked. Okay, land parking brake is set. Sofia approach, Hotel Mike November, request startup.
Hotel Mike November, startup is approved, traffic QNH 1032.
Startup approved, Hotel Mike November. Okay, clear on the right, clear on the left. We have the 32 psi for the engine start. Starting engine number 2.
Approach, I'm pretty far from the runway.
1709, your report position.
Oh, that was the cover. Now found it. So, it's already ignited. Temperature rising fine. We already have fuel flow. We should have a ding. And now it's settled. Starting engine number 1. Let's just make sure it's still clear.
Or are you gonna recapture it?
So, N2. Oil temp, oil pressure. Fuel flow. Once we have the ding, then most of our gas messages will go off. Okay, we have good engine start. Let's do flight controls check. So, rudder left, right, neutral, down, up, neutral, left, right, neutral, speed brakes, and retracted, and flaps 1. Let's do a quick brake check. They are working just fine. Let's get back to the map. It will help us with the taxi. Let's also open the airport.
With 1709, confirm getting 090.
Okay, so basically we go Tango, Bravo, and Bravo 2 or Alpha 2. So Tango, Bravo, Alpha, Bravo, or 4. Oh, and then after Bravo 2, it's either Bravo 1 or Alpha. Let me just quick.
1709, Sofia approach.
Okay, let's have seat belts on and taxi lights on. Sofia approach Hotel Mike November, request taxi.
Hotel Mike November taxi holding point Bravo 1 runway 09 via Whiskey Tango Juliet and Bravo.
Taxi to Bravo 1 via Whiskey Tango and say again the rest.
Hotel Mike November is going to be Whiskey Tango Juliet Bravo.
Whiskey Tango Juliet and Bravo Hotel Mike November. Juliet? Oh, that's Juliet. So Whiskey Tango, so basically we need to take a right turn here to Tango and then with
Instructions with 1709 and left heading 270.
With 1709, turning 270.
Okay. What I forget to set is the parking brake, so we will just move it with the mouse. So I hope the guy will just move when we move. Let's move him out of the view, and then we can pretend he's not even there. So previously my pedals were plugged into the throttle, but since I have a different throttle now, the pedals are now plugged in directly to the computer USB port, so it does not, it isn't calibrated as it was before, so it's somewhat strange. Needs to get used to it. Let's just stop here, turn on landing lights, and before takeoff checklist. Oh, we did not check thrust reversers.
Hotel Mike November, wind 122, 5 knots, runway 09, clear for takeoff, report airborne.
No takeoff.
Approach, I will need a short time, half a minute for the pre-takeoff checklist.
Hotel Mike November, Roger, report ready for departure.
Will go. So, thrust reversers were checked. Trims are set, flaps are set for takeoff, speed brakes are in. No need for the charts. Lights are set. Ice protection will not be needed. V-speeds are displayed. Speed knob is in FMS mode. Static heating will not be needed. Ice protection will not be needed. Sofia approach, Hotel Mike November ready for departure.
Hotel Mike November, wind 120, 5 knots, runway 09, clear for takeoff, report airborne. Be advised, there's a rogue aircraft.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 09er, and copy about the traffic. Will report when airborne. Hotel Mike November. And we will just do a rolling takeoff. The rogue traffic should be somewhere behind us. Ooh, nose wheel steering is really too tight. Or am Not sure what the right word is right now. So takeoff thrust is set. 70 knots, 80, 90, 100, rotate. Positive rate, gears up. Approach Hotel Mike November Airborne.
Hotel Mike November Sofia approach, identified direct Tesla.
Direct Tesla, Hotel Mike November. Okay, direct Tesla. Wow, that's quite a quite some direct. We're skipping the whole of the departure basically and go
709, turn right heading 060, clear direct Zulu approach runway 09, report established.
With the 1709, turning 060.
Okay, after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, flaps are up, throttle, yes we are almost overspeeding, so thank you. No need for the taxi lights and landing lights anymore, and we are quite links level, no clouds about, so let's go. That's off. Okay, we can go standard pro. Pressurization is not yet happening. Interesting. But sooner or later, cabin pressure will make the pressurization ultimately to happen. And APU, you can go off.
Level 280.
Climb flight level 280, Hotel Mike November.
With a 1709, EW2 overshot delocalizer, turn right heading 120.
With the 1709, turning 120.
We're still doing 4,500 feet a minute. I like this performance a lot. Although it makes me wonder, whenever FlightFX is ready to release the Citation 10, I'll be there to take to the skies even faster. And of course it will be quite a challenge to learn a generation older avionics and fly with that.
Sofia approach with 1709. I'm running out of fuel.
1709, I tried to establish you on the localizer like 4 times now. So turn left heading 160 again. Hotel Mike November, no further ATC monitoring, correction monitor advisory 122, that's my bye bye. All stations,
Okay, I forgot that my mic was off, and I even said goodbye and thank you for Sofia approach, but yeah, without the mic on, of course, it did not went out and it was not recorded. However, if Sofia approach will ever see this video, then I'm sorry, I did hear you, and thanks again for the ATC. Oh, I just realized that we're still flying flight level 280, which is not ideal, so let's go up to 400. Okay, so now we are properly at flight level 400. We have 21 minutes until top of descent, so flight level 400 is indeed a good flight level for us. If I started the climb earlier, then the original flight level 430 advised by SimBrief could have been used. To be honest, I did not really believe that it was sensible to fly as high. I expected that cruising on that level would take uh, too little time to make sense, so I decided to go with 400 instead. Okay, while we are cruising, let's try to think ahead a little bit. Unfortunately, ATC at Budapest logged off, which means we are going to descend on our own, which also means that we can descend by VNAV. So let's check our arrival. And at Micra we should be above 4,000. That's the only altitude restriction we have from Kazal. There's a minimum safe altitude of 3,600, but if we are above 4000, then of course we are above 3600. Let's just quickly check the waypoints. So Kezal, Okrit, Zurfa, 885, 884, 883, Ulpax, 874, and Nikra. Alright, approach ILS 31 right, Nikra 4000, then 865 at 3000, and finally 2500 for the final approach fix. Let's make that an at. Okay, there's a 230, but I don't think that's an at, that's a max. So I'm overruling that one. So let's say which was this again? 864, 865. That's about 10 miles out. Let's say 190. Okay, and let's go. $2,500 and VNAV. Since we are going to land on 3-1 right, let's zoom into this part of the map. Then let's go back to the map. Alright, we still have 13 minutes left for the top of descent. Okay, we are now almost within half a minute to our top of descent. So let's check things again. Seems like there is still no ATC online at Budapest. And there is one departing airplane planned in the near future. Seems like we will not have any oncoming airplane that we should be looking out for, and no online controller, which is really too bad. And since the GAT was already marked as being in Hungary, we are already in Hungarian airspace. However, of course, we are still pretty high, and we will lose most of our altitude flying these two 180s that's in our flight plan. Let's quickly check a few things. I think I just moved here too fast. So ILS is 109.5. That's correct. Also, missed approach, climb Budapest 863, turn right, max 185 knots direct to TPS 4, and continue climb to 3000. At 3000 enter holding, and heading is 307. So I'm going to enter 307 there. Let's not forget to move altitude to 3000 in case we need to do a go around. And now we can go back to the airport diagram. Okay, so the airplane ahead is almost 9,000 feet above us, so it's not a conflict. However, Budapest traffic, Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November, Kazal 2, Hotel arrival, runway 31 right, currently over Kazal, Budapest. Of course, we are pretty far out, but let's make people aware that we do exist. That's the KLM I was talking about, flying above us. It's a 777 flying to Singapore. As for the descent checklist, landing elevation is still 448 versus 416, which I don't really like, but shouldn't be much difference in terms of air pressure. APU, well, we can set the APU on. We're approaching, well, flight level 170, but we're already slowing down for 250. And it happens without me helping it with the speed brake, so I will just leave it at that. However, altimeters are still not yet to go, and so do not need to turn on the exterior lights as well. However, I think it's a good idea to check weather. Of course, without ATIS online, I can only rely on the METAR, which says that it's wind calm, cab okay, 1031, 3045. Okay, let's do landing calculations. Let's use predicted weight, load METAR data. Interestingly, it says 1 knot here. Seems like a different METAR than what we have. (123, 112), and let's go 128 as a +5. And we will need 2600 of the 12,000. So I guess we will not need thrust reversers and such. We can just simply gently let us roll out the speed with speed brakes and flaps extended. And with that we have the V-speeds, we have the landing distance, ice protection will not be needed. Minimums is set to 681. I said we don't need ice protection. I did not know when it was turned on. I guess we can go local pressure, which is 3045. Okay, I guess seat belts are in order. And let's go. Lights on. Also, cabin pressure is rising or cabin altitude is lowering. By now we are at 600, 550 as cabin altitude, so we are almost there. APU is running. And the airfield is just on our right. And we will land on the runway closer to us. Actually, it would be closer to our parking space if we landed on the further away, but that's for departures, and I don't want to mess with that. Let me just check. Seat belts are on, landing lights on, APU on. Okay, we will soon turn base here. Actually, speed is checked. Let's go flaps 1. Oh, and yes, I forgot about the flight plan having a manual sequence here, so let's go direct. I was wondering when we will make the turn, but of course we will not if I forget to either remove the man sequence or go a direct Nikra instead of it. And can we already arm? Yes, we can arm the approach mode, so let's do that. Okay, speed is checked, gear down. Approach checklist. Landing data was calculated. Ice protection will not be needed. Navigation aids are set. Minimum 600-618. Altimeters 10313045. Flaps currently flaps 1 will go flaps 2 just a little bit later. Landing gear lever is down. We can go for the charts on the MFD. And of course the runway is in sight. Budapest Traffic Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November 10 my final runway 31 right. Okay, speed is checked, let's go flaps 2. Let's move the camera just a little bit. And we will leave it here. So, landing gear is down, 3 green, no red, flaps 2 currently, exterior lights are set, speed brakes are in, no gas messages, autopilot is still to go. think we should sit up just a bit. Okay, let's go flaps full. Autopilot off my airplane. Let's see how well we can fly this plane with the yoke. We are a bit to the left. And a bit high.
400. 300. 200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 2 low, to rain.
And let's just let it roll a bit.
Budapest traffic, KLM 7414, taxiing runway 13 left via Bravo 4, Bravo 5, Budapest traffic.
Budapest traffic, Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November, clear of the runway. Okay, let's just hold it here a little bit. So landing lights are off. Flaps up, speed brakes in. Ice protection was not in use. Alright, let's taxi.
Budapest traffic, KLM 7414 departing runway 13 left, Gillip 2 Bravo departure, Budapest traffic.
Okay, and now we are going to taxi all the way to the GA terminal. Well, it's not a GA terminal, but the GA apron. That's more like it. Okay, we will slow down here. And turn landing lights on. And let's just take a quick look around. No incoming traffic. The departing airplane is already 2,700 feet high, so let's cross 31 left. Also, let's move the map so we can see what we are doing. And we don't need flight director. Or VNAV. Okay, we are out of 31 left. Yeah. No, I did not want to stop here. Right, some kind of an old Tupolev. Probably a 154. But I'm not much of an expert on those. be going 33 knots here. Let's try to keep it at 30 tops. Let's go even slower at this part of the airport. After all, we are closing in to where I intend to park. Like here. So parking brake is set, throttles are idle, seatbelts can go off, emergency lights can go off, standby battery can go off. And we've been idling the engines for quite a lot of time, so I guess it's okay to shut them down. Let's turn off the APU as well, and with that we are going to conclude this video. I thank you for joining me on this flight. I'm kind of sorry that ATC logged off by the time we got here. Also, there wasn't much traffic at all, but at least we got here. Thank you for joining me on this flight again, and I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you again on our next flight. Until then, goodbye.